Hi boys and girls. It's not really story time today because I've got a different kind of book I wanted to show you. And this is what it looks like. It's called My Little Book of Sharks. Does anybody know what kind of book this might be? It's not a story book. This is called a non-fiction book or an information book. That means it's got lots and lots of information and things that you can learn about inside this book. So this one is all about sharks, and I know that some of you really like sharks. There are lots and lots of pages in this book, and right at the beginning there is this page here. This is called the contents page, and it has a list of all the different pages with their page numbers here, and it tells you what you're going to find on each of those pages. There's a lot of information in this book, and I'm not going to read it all to you, but I've picked out some bits that I thought you might like. So let's have a look at the first one. So this shark is called a white tip reef shark, and let's have a look. White tip reef sharks are small, shy animals. Now, I thought all sharks were really ferocious, but not this one. This one's very, very shy, and they are named after the white tips on their fins. So, can you see the fins here? This is a fin here, and it's got a little bit of white at the end, and you can see again here a little bit of white on the end of their fin, and this is the fin here. And these sharks often stay really close to the bottom of the seabed. They don't come up to the surface, they like to go really deep down to the bottom. Most sharks live on their own, but the white tip reef sharks often hunt at night in big groups. They stay near caves, rocks, and underwater cliffs where they can look for crustaceans and fish to eat. Crustaceans are things like prawns and lobsters and things like that. There's lots of different kinds of crustaceans, but that's what they like to eat. And these sharks can actually smell their food. Not all sharks can smell food, but those ones can. Okay, on this page we have the sand tiger shark. I thought you would like this one a lot because of all the sharp teeth. Can you see all of those teeth? It's a scary looking shark. I wonder why it's got so many teeth and why they're so sharp. Shall we find out? So these sharks, sand tiger sharks, are also called ragged tooth sharks, and they have long spiky teeth, and they grow to more than 4 meters long. That's really, really long. That's like 2 of me on top of each other, maybe a little bit more. And they hunt in big groups of up to 80 sharks. That's a lot of sharks, and they swim very close to sandy shores. So you might see them if you're close to the edge of the beach. So these kind of sharks, they only like to eat small fish. They don't try and eat people, so you'll be safe with this one. And this one here, this is called the tiger shark. Does anybody know why it might be called a tiger shark? Is there any clues there? Have a look at this picture here. Does it look a little bit like a tiger? Okay, so tiger sharks are really dangerous. They are fast swimmers and they are really powerful. And the young tiger sharks have spots, and the adult ones have stripes. A tiger shark's favourite foods are fish, seabirds and turtles. So they're quite big things that this tiger shark likes to eat. And here is a picture of a tiger shark's tooth. Can you see all the jagged edges on it? We call that serrated. It's got jagged edges all the way along. Makes it easier for it to eat its food. It's a little bit like a saw. Okay, and these sharks are really, really aggressive, and sometimes they might even attack people. But you don't need to worry about that because you're not going to see any of these. So let's have a look at another shark. This one is called the great white shark. Have you got any ideas about why it might be called the great white shark? This one is one of the world's most amazing animals. It's big, it's strong, and it's deadly. The biggest great white sharks grow to 6 metres long. That's about 5 of me on top of each other. I would be really scared if I saw one of these in the water. A great white shark is so strong that it can leap out of the water. Can you see here? It's come right out of the water and jumping through the sky. Great white sharks have about 300 teeth. I can't remember how many teeth people have. I think it's probably about 50. So a shark has an awful lot of teeth. Great white sharks hunt large animals. They swim fast and catch seals, tuna, and dolphins to eat. Now, tuna fish are really big fish. They're so big, I can't even show you how big they are. And dolphins are the same as well, so they're eating really, really big animals. And these sharks go on long journeys across the oceans. So they like to swim really, really far away. I wouldn't like to meet one of those either. Okay, I liked this shark because I like the name of this shark. It doesn't look like the other sharks we've looked at, does it? This one is called a spotted wobblegong. And wobblegongs are sometimes called carpet sharks because they look like patterned carpets. I think I'd like to have a carpet that looks like this in my house. It's very interesting. So they have bits of skin flaps hanging from the shark's mouth. Can you see all the flaps that are hanging down? So those flaps are to help it to hide in the seaweed. We call this camouflage when the animals have patterns. We have talked about this before. The animals have patterns on their skin so that they can hide in their environment. So that's why this shark has all of these patterns. Wobblegong sharks hunt for lobsters, flatfish, and octopuses on the seabed. So they like to keep really close to the bottom of the sea and find all the kind of fish that live there. Okay, and I think I've got one more left. Let's have a look. Ah, this is another one of my favourites, and I saved this one till last. This one is called a Scalloped Hammerhead. Now, have you got any idea why this might be called a hammerhead? Have a look at the shape of its head. What does it look like to you? Does anybody know what a hammer is? I'll show you here. I've got a hammer here. Can you see the shape? It looks a little bit like our shark, and that's why this one is called a hammerhead. It's a really unusual looking shark, not like the ones that you might have seen before. Hammerhead sharks look strange. Their heads are wide, which makes the sharks hammer-shaped. The shark's eyes are at the ends of its head. Can you see its eye here? And another one behind here. It helps it to see predators. Now, a predator is something that might want to eat the shark. So it's keeping an eye out all the time to make sure nothing's going to sneak up and eat him. And it also helps him to find animals to eat. So hammerheads live near the coasts in warm waters. They eat fish and sometimes hunt for other sharks to eat, such as black-tip reef sharks. So they like to eat lots of different kinds of fish as well. And that's all for now. There's lots more information in this book, so if you have any books at home about sharks or anything else, I'd really love to hear about them. Okay, that's all for now, boys and girls. Bye.